Welcome to MogulCast, where we uncover the stories behind the world's greatest business empires. Let's get into today's story.
June 1999, Toronto. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway just crossed $100 billion in market value. The world calls him the Oracle of Omaha. But 34 years earlier, in 1965, he bought a failing textile company called Berkshire Hathaway for $14.86 a share. By 2025, that same share was worth over $600,000. $10,000 invested in 1965 would be worth more than $400 million today. This is the full story. And it is more surprising than you think. Warren Buffett was not born a billionaire. In 1930, he was a boy in Omaha, Nebraska, selling chewing gum and Coca-Cola door to door. By age 11, he bought his first stock, City Service Preferred, at $38 a share. It crashed to $27, then rebounded to $40. He sold. It kept climbing to $200. That lesson, patience, would define his life. But there was another lesson coming, one that would nearly ruin him. By 1956, Buffett had $174,000, roughly $1.80 million today. He launched Buffett Partnership Limited with a simple rule: beat the Dow Jones by 10% a year. He did it. 29.5% annual returns from 1957 to 1968. But in 1962, he noticed a company trading below its working capital. It was a textile mill in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Berkshire Hathaway. He saw value. The market saw a dying industry. We will come back to one specific decision. It is the key to everything. In 1965, Buffett took control of Berkshire Hathaway. The textile business was bleeding cash. Most investors would have sold. Buffett kept it open for 20 more years. Why? Because the mill had one hidden asset: cash flow. It wasn't about textiles. It was about the money the business generated. That cash would become the fuel for something much bigger. But first, Buffett had to learn the hardest lesson of his career. 1967. Buffett made a move that would define Berkshire Hathaway forever. He bought two insurance companies, National Indemnity and National Fire and Marine. Insurance companies collect premiums up front and pay claims later. That float, the money held between collection and payout, was a goldmine. By 1970, Berkshire's float was $39. By 2025, it was over $160 billion. Bill. But not everyone was celebrating. Most people think Warren Buffett's strategy was about picking stocks. It wasn't. It was about owning entire businesses. By the 1990s, Berkshire owned See's Candies, Geico, Dairy Queen, and more. But here is what the media completely got wrong about this. Buffett didn't just buy good companies. He bought companies with a durable competitive advantage, what he called a moat. And he never sold. Buffett's playbook was simple: buy undervalued companies, hold forever, and let compounding do the work. From 1965 to 2025, Berkshire's book value grew at 19.8% annually, nearly double the S&P 500 DAP. But the real secret? The insurance float. That $160 billion wasn't debt. It was free money Buffett could invest. And he did, in everything from Coca-Cola to Apple. But then, in 2008, the world nearly collapsed. September 2008, Lehman Brothers collapsed. The financial system froze. Berkshire Hathaway was sitting on $44 billion in cash. Buffett saw an opportunity. He injected $5 billion into Goldman Sachs, $3 billion into General Electric, and $6.50 billion into Wrigley. The deals came with warrants, the right to buy stock at a fixed price. When the market recovered, Berkshire made billions. But one crisis was still coming. 2020. COVID-19 hit. Berkshire's airline stocks, Delta, American, United, Southwest, collapsed. Buffett had bought them just months earlier. The Oracle of Omaha was wrong. In May 2020, he sold all $6 billion in airline stocks at a loss. The media called it a failure, but Buffett's real mistake, not the airlines. It was something he did decades earlier, a decision that would haunt Berkshire for years. Buffett's biggest regret wasn't the airlines. It was holding too much cash. By 2023, Berkshire was sitting on $150 billion in cash and equivalents. The market was soaring, but Berkshire's returns lagged. Buffett admitted, "We haven't done anything because we don't see anything that attractive. And if you have made it this far, you already understand something most analysts completely missed." Buffett's real edge wasn't stock picking. It was patience. Berkshire Hathaway's legacy isn't just about money. It's about a philosophy: buy wonderful businesses at fair prices and hold them forever. By 2025, Berkshire owned over 60 companies outright and had stakes in more than 50 others. Its market cap? Over $900 billion. But the real impact? Buffett's strategy changed how the world invests. Value investing became mainstream. But there's a catch. Most people think Buffett's success was inevitable. It wasn't. In 1964, he made a decision that nearly destroyed Berkshire. He bought the textile mill not for its business, but for its cash. He kept it open for 20 years, losing money every year. Why? Because he needed the cash flow to buy insurance companies. Remember that decision we mentioned at the start? Here is what it actually cost: $200 million in losses. But it gave him the float that built an empire. Berkshire Hathaway by the numbers: $900 billion, market cap total. $364 billion in revenue in 2025. Over 390,000 employees. $160 billion in insurance float. 19.8% annual return since 1965. But the most surprising number? $14.86. That's what Buffett paid per share in 1965. Today, it's worth over $600,000. That's the power of compounding. And it's why most investors fail. The lesson no one talks about. Warren Buffett's real strategy wasn't about stocks. It was about time. He once said, "The stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient." Most investors trade too much, chase trends, and panic sell. Buffett did the opposite. He held for decades. And that's why $10,000 became $900 billion. The question is, do you have the patience to do the same? If you want to understand how this pattern repeats across every major business empire, the next video covers a story with disturbing parallels. A company that seemed unstoppable until one decision changed everything. That one is next.
That's the story for today on MogulCast. If you found this valuable, subscribe and hit the bell. A new empire story drops every single weekday. See you tomorrow.